You want to see my? You want to check under my nuts too?
No, not really.
Not
Go ahead.
really
I feel like you might be.
No, not
I
really.
feel like you might be.
Where is that?
I don't know the way you searching.
Yeah, we gotta search everybody.
Nah, you can check under there. It's just a big dick and some big balls, bro. Yeah, receipts I paid for in the city.
On cocaine.
That's right. You really gotta ask what happened when it's coke involved. Okay.
He was
Okay.
probably wow.
Right. Whatever the coke, the root or whatever he was getting into.
Whew, it's looking like Michael Jordan is done with his son for real after that wild stunt that got him locked up over some of that Coca-Cola. Y'all remember when Marcus was caught a few months back sniffing what looked like that powder? Well, now we know the man is battling a real addiction. And he almost took himself out with the reckless way he was driving when they pulled him over. But wait, it gets worse. Marcus straight up clowned himself arguing with the cops, cussing them out, and acting like they were supposed to roll out the red carpet just because he's Jordan's son. Child, it was beyond embarrassing. So it's no shocker that Michael finally hit his limit with Marcus's foolishness. And if the streets are telling the truth, this was the breaking point for Michael. He's done with Marcus and cut him off for dragging the family name through the mud. So what's really the tea? How did the Michael Jordan's son end up in a mess like this? And what part did Michael play in the drama? Let's get into it.
I'm Marcus Jordan. I'm Michael Jordan's son. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Police found 34-year-old Marcus Jordan and his blue Lamborghini stuck on railroad tracks near Orlando, Florida. According to the arrest report, officers learned the vehicle had just fled a traffic stop. They claim Jordan had slurred speech, bloodshot eyes, and smelled of alcohol.
Marcus Jordan stay making headlines for all the wrong reasons, but this time, he really topped himself. Word is, he was driving under the influence and swerved onto train tracks. Could have been a whole tragedy if the cops hadn't stepped in. Folks are dragging him for this one, cause let's be real. He's grown and still out here acting reckless like a teenager. But some people are side-eyeing Michael Jordan, blaming his parenting for his kid's downfall, saying he wasn't exactly winning Father of the Year back in the day. The streets are talking, and the buzz is that Michael was too busy being a legend to guide his kids in finding their own paths, especially in basketball. MJ's got 5 kids from 2 different relationships. His first marriage with Juanita Vanoy brought Jeffrey, Marcus, and Jasmine, while his second with Cuban-American model Yvette Prieto gave him twins, Victoria and Isabel. The pressure growing up was real, especially for the boys. How you gonna be Michael Jordan's son and not have the world expecting you to ball out? But while Michael's drive had him chasing greatness, his sons just didn't have that same fire. And honestly, who could blame them? There's only one Michael Jordan in a lifetime. With all the money and connections in the world, and a GOAT for a daddy, folks just knew they would at least do decent. And Michael? Oh, he made it real clear he wasn't about to baby his boys. They had to grind and make their own way. Both Jeffrey and Marcus hit the court in high school, hooping just like their pops. But let's keep it a buck. The real moment from their high school days? That one night when future 7th overall pick Eric Gordon went off, dropping a disrespectful 43 points on Whitney Young, the very school Jeffrey and Marcus played for. And MJ? He was right there in the crowd, watching in stone-cold silence while his boys barely scraped together 8 points combined.
About 2 seconds away from throwing on a jersey, lacing up, and subbing into the game himself.
Stop it. Get some help.
They still made it to college, and Marcus, he held his own. But Jeffrey, whew, that boy struggled. He wasn't exactly flooded with offers, and instead of taking the easy road at a smaller school, he chose the University of Illinois as a preferred walk-on, which meant he had to grind extra hard just to maybe earn a real spot on the squad. But let's call it what it is. Jeffrey just wasn't built for it. His freshman year, 1 point per game. Sophomore year, still 1 point per game. Junior year, a slight bump to 1.6. With all his natural athleticism and his daddy's legacy, it was clear. Hooping at a high level just wasn't in his cards. Now Marcus, different story. Back in high school as a senior at Whitney Young, he put the team on his back and delivered, leading them to a state championship. And in the clutch, oh, he showed out, dropping 19 points in that title game, proving once and for all that he was miles ahead of his brother. MVP status secured. He took his talents to the University of Central Florida on a scholarship. Once he hit college, Marcus immediately became the best player on the team, but it was in his sophomore year that he really made folks pay attention. He jumped from averaging 8 points per game in year 1 to 15.2 in year 2. And with UCF winning 21 games that season, he was the clear leader. When it came to national competition, Marcus let the world know, dropping 18 points on 6 of 11 shooting in a major upset over number 16 Florida, and then putting up 23 points to carry UCF past Miami. At this point, it was almost written in the stars that Marcus would follow in his daddy's footsteps, or at the very least, make it to the NBA and build his own legacy. Compared to the players getting drafted around that time, Marcus looked like a solid pick, and his chances would have been even better if he had just kept leveling up his game. But instead of rising to the top, Marcus started slipping, becoming the main character in all kinds of messy off-court scandals. His first controversy in college ball? Refusing to rock the team's official Adidas kicks, all because he was standing 10 toes down for his father. But oh, it got way worse. In 2010, right before his sophomore season, Marcus made headlines again when reports surfaced that he and his brother blew between $50,000 and $80,000 on a wild gambling and partying spree in Las Vegas. Word on the street was that the Jordan brothers dropped at least $35,000 at Hayes nightclub and Liquid Pool Lounge. And the funniest part? Nobody would have even known if Marcus hadn't hopped on Twitter running his mouth, flexing that he had spent over $50,000 on Saturday alone, while they turned up all weekend. The situation got so bad that it caught the attention of the Nevada Gaming Control Board, because let's not forget, Marcus was only 19 at the time, way under the legal gambling age. This just brought even more bad press, not just for Marcus, but for his daddy too. Folks couldn't help but draw the comparisons. After all, Marcus wasn't the only Jordan with a gambling habit. MJ himself was infamous for throwing down massive amounts of cash at the tables, sometimes losing it all in one go. Matter of fact, his love for high-stakes betting even dragged him into a money laundering trial, where a $57,000 check with his name on it ended up as key evidence. And that whole mess was tied to James "Slim" Bowler, a well-known gambler and alleged drug dealer who eventually got slapped with 9 years behind bars for money laundering. MJ had no choice but to testify in court because that $57,000 check he wrote to Bowler, supposedly to cover a gambling debt, was looking real suspicious. So yeah, when Marcus and his brothers started wilding out with their own gambling addiction, nobody was the least bit shocked. The apple don't fall far from the tree, huh? But trust, that wasn't even the biggest L Marcus took on his way down. In 2012, he got himself arrested after a drunken argument with 2 women. According to reports, Marcus was very animated, intoxicated, and uncooperative with police outside the embassy suites. Officers were called to the scene at 2:11 a.m. after an off-duty officer asked for help subduing Jordan during an argument with 2 women in the hotel driveway. After a brief struggle, it took multiple officers to control and handcuff the suspect. He was charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and obstructing a police officer. But he copped a plea, so that obstruction charge, gone. All this drama had NBA teams looking at Marcus like a walking red flag. Instead of grinding and showing teams he was worth the investment, he was out here making himself look like a whole liability. So when the 2011 draft came around, nobody called his name. And to make matters worse, his game wasn't even giving. He was barely putting up 13.7 points per game while shooting a raggedy 37%. No NBA squad was gonna waste a roster spot on stats like that. By 2012, after UCF got banned from the NCAA tournament, Marcus just up and quit. And just like that, his basketball dreams were over. From there, it was like Marcus just drifted from one mess to the next without really doing much. Fast forward to 2022. And folks were talking about him again, this time for dating reality TV star Larsa Pippen. That whole relationship was a hot mess, full of breakups, makeups, and finally, a wrap. After they split, Marcus hopped on social media talking about how he sent Larsa back to the streets where she belonged. Meanwhile, Larsa kept it cute, saying she had some time apart and realized Marcus just wasn't her man. She said, "I just wrapped shooting the show and I spent time away from him and everyone else. I was there for 2 weeks and it just kind of gave me clarity when I was alone. And I think when you're alone, you kind of really either miss the person or realize maybe you're not my guy. And I feel like that made me realize that I don't think he's my guy. Honestly, this relationship could have just been another celebrity fling, but what made it wild was that Larsa was almost 17 years older than Marcus. And let's not forget, she used to be married to Scottie Pippen, who was Michael Jordan's arch nemesis and rival. Yeah, things were already messy before they even got started. But the fans didn't really get how much MJ was tripping over it until the paparazzi caught up with him and asked if he was cool with the relationship. His answer? A quick, hard no.
So, Michael Jordan was out in France, and he's leaving, he's headed to his car, and somebody screams to him, "Michael, do you approve of your son Marcus dating Larsa Pippen?" And he kept it short and sweet.
No. He definitely does, and he knows that Daddy's disapproval will only make him get deeper in.
Around that time, folks started whispering that MJ was fed up with his son's mess and was probably giving him an ultimatum to get his act together. But instead of stepping up and turning things around, Marcus kept spiraling. Allegedly, he was deep into gambling and messing around with some hard substances. Word on the street was that he might have even been getting addicted to some of those substances. Things only got worse when he was seen on vacation last year looking like he was sniffing something white. Never confirmed, but the rumors sure spread fast. People couldn't help but wonder what Michael Jordan was doing about his son's wild ways. But then, this month, everything hit the fan when Marcus got arrested for DUI, coke possession, and resisting arrest. Here's what went down. Marcus was driving his Lamborghini with his girl when he somehow ended up on a railway track in the dead of night. Cops saw them, thinking they were having car trouble, and pulled up to help. They told Marcus and his girl they had to move because trains were coming through, but Marcus wasn't hearing it. He straight up refused to leave his $300,000 car on the tracks and started arguing.
You are stuck. You know the trains come by right now, right?
No, I know. That's why I'm trying to get the out of here.
Your car ain't going nowhere, dude. You're buried. You're stuck on the track.
I need you guys out of the car because there is a train coming right now.
So then let me pull up.
You're not going to be able to move it. Just get out of the car.
You can't. You're buried. You're buried, bro. You can't go nowhere. You're buried. But there's a train
It leads to the
less
right.
than 5
Track
minutes
to the
away.
right.
All right, so then you want to get hit by a train?
You think I want to get hit by a train?
No, that's what I'm
absolutely
saying.
not.
Get out of the car so we don't get hit, so we can get off this thing.
There's a track to the right.
All right, get out of the car.
I mean, the concern is this $300,000 vehicle. I would like to just like put it out the way.
Start driving.
Tow truck. We don't need a tow truck.
While all this was going down, the officers started getting the vibe that Marcus might be tipsy, so they had him do the straight line test. Marcus swore up and down he wasn't on anything, but the cops weren't buying it, so they went ahead and cuffed him.
I've already got concerns for your level of impairment anyways, okay? So that's why. Because I can smell alcohol coming from you, and you're on train tracks. Okay. So come on, man. Just listen to me. But I am not inebriated. I'm not familiar with this area. I made a right. I thought I was making a right onto the highway. I made a right on train track.
10-12.
Where would I put myself at? 3. 3? Yes. Okay. All right. Both hands back. I just can't get my stick to it. Okay. Just let you know. Okay.
I disagree with that, sir, but whatever you say.
While searching his pockets, the officers pulled out a small baggie that ended up being filled with coke once they tested it.
You want to see my? You want to check under my nuts too? Go ahead. I feel like you might be. I feel like you might be.
Where is that?
I don't know the way you searching.
Well, we got to search everybody.
Nah, you can check under there. It's just a big and some big balls, bro. Yeah, receipts I paid for in this city. Like what the? I didn't do anything, man. I made a wrong. But I'm not drunk.
All right, take a seat.
Number one. My opinion is different. One question. You can ask me one question, I'll answer it, and then I want you to sit down. What's up? I just want to understand why y'all are treating me as if I did something criminal.
Because I think you have driving under the influence.
But I'm not.
So I've answered your question. Now please sit down and I'll answer more questions. Please sit down.
I got nothing else for you, bro. All right. Well, hold on. Can I sit down?
Sit down.
Yo.
Sit down.
Sit down. Yo, chill out, bro. You chill out.
No. Stop picking.
Yo, can I ask my girlfriend a question?
Don't do that again.
Relax.
Sit down.
Relax. Relax. Can I ask my girlfriend a question or no? Oh, wow. Okay. All right. What's your name?
Officer Marino, badge number 183.
What's your name? Boring Monday night, huh? Let's arrest Marcus Jordan.
There's a baggie with powder. I was going to grab the wipe to...
Boring Monday night.
Now, I can't say for sure if Marcus was drunk or not, but from the body cam footage that came out, it was pretty clear he was on something. Dude was wildin', swearing and going off on the cops, throwing his name around like he expected them to treat him like some big-time celeb. Even when they put the cuffs on him and tossed him in the squad car, he didn't chill out.
Brought in Marcus Jordan.
Is Marcus Jordan are you like popular or something?
I know exactly.
I don't act like you don't know who you are, man. I've never met you.
Yeah.
Really?
turn this up. Like,
According to TMZ, Marcus eventually got booked into jail with a $4,000 bond. To make things look even worse, he allegedly refused to take a breathalyzer test to prove if he was drunk or not. Of course, the whole situation blew up online, and it was clear to everyone that Marcus had been heading down this road for a minute. That's when the rumors started flying that Michael Jordan had finally cut ties with Marcus because this latest mess was just too much for him. A lot of people weighed in on it, like this one person who said, "Literally, nobody is surprised, but I never pictured MJ's son was on the road to become Tyrone Biggums. He needs help. Now." Then this person went on to say, "Ha ha ha. This makes me laugh so damn hard. He's already been photographed by the paparazzi numerous times snorting lines. You'd think he'd already learned his lessons." But do y'all think Michael's got some blame in his son's behavior? Or is Marcus just out here acting a fool and can't seem to get right, even at his grown age? Drop your thoughts below and make sure to catch the next video.